Hello everybody. Today we're going to take a look at Unit 4.6E, Translate Percents and Applications, Simple Interest. Simple interest is a question that will be on the GED, so if you are taking the GED, you want to take the GED, definitely be sure you are up on how to calculate simple interest. In Canvas, in every one of these daily practice modules, there is a page with the GED formula. So if you just click on that link, you've got overview, video, screenshot, more practice, GED formulas. On the second page of this formula sheet is the formula for simple interest. The reason I point this out is that you can refer to this sheet on any of my tests, and you can also have access to this sheet when you take the GED. So the important thing you'll need to know here is I equals PRT. Interest paid is equal to the principal times the rate times the time in years, okay? And then using algebraic manipulation, which is what the rules that you follow for math using variables, you have to be able to also calculate the principal or the rate or the time using what the information given. So this will be something really good to practice before you take the GED. So you can refer to this sheet. You can use this sheet, the GED formula sheet, for any test that you take with me, and you can also use it on the GED. So it's a good idea to know what's on here. All of these formulas will help you with the GED, okay? And you can assume that you will have to know how to use all of these before you take the GED, okay? Alrighty. So let's put that away. You can find those in every module. And let's take a look at simple interest. Okay. So Samantha invests $19,000. That means her principal is $19,000. This is the P, right? 11% is the R. And 11% as a decimal is 0.11, right? And the time in years is 2 years, okay? So it's important to remember that the time has to be years. If they ask you or tell you time in months, you're going to have to make a conversion. Okay, so we'll do that on problem 2. Let's take a look at my tablet and see how to do this. All right, so interest paid is equal to principal times rate times time in years. So let's just fill in the blanks and see if we can find the interest. Let's see what they're asking first. How much interest did she earn? Okay, so this is interest on a bank account. You could have interest on a home loan. It's the same kind of thing, but usually with a home loan, the interest is compound. Simple interest is not used very much anymore. Compound interest compounds daily or weekly or quarterly or monthly. It's a little more complicated to calculate. So we are looking for how much interest? And the other question is, how much is in the account? How much is in the account after 2 years? Okay, I'm going to pause for 1 second. Here's the tablet. So how much interest was earned in the bank? So we are going to use this formula, I equals PRT, to calculate that. And our P is 19,000. Our rate is 0.11, 11%. And our T is 2. So we should just be able to plug those in. 19,000 times 0.11 times 2. And this is similar to calculating a commission or sales tax. So get your calculator, turn it on. I recharged mine. I put it in the sun. 19000 times 0.11 times 2. I got 4,180. So if you 11%, if we just round this, 10% of 19,000 would be $1,900. And that's for 2 years. So it would be close to, what, 3,800 if it were 10%. And since it's 11, it's going to be slightly higher. So I got 4,180, right? So how much interest? Let's change colors. $4,180. And then how much was in her account after 2 years? So to calculate this, we have to add the principal starting out. This is like the original sale price. And so we're going to add 19,000 and 4,180. And if you still have that number on your calculator, you can just add the next number. And you should have $23,180 is how much she has left in there. 23,180 after 2 years. So not bad. That's when you put your money to work for you. All right, so this would be the answer for the first one, 23,180, and they probably have a dollar sign in there over here on the WAMAP side. Yeah, so that dollar sign, we would put in the interest, the amount of interest, and then the amount of total principal. So for the next problem, find the amount of simple interest earned for depositing the given principal in an account. If 7,300 is invested at 8.5% for 3 months. Okay, so for this one, our formula, same formula, right? We've got I equals PRT, and we're looking for interest. Simple interest, the amount of interest earned. So on this one, they're testing us to see if we know how to convert. We have to take our answer, which is using a year. We only have 3 months, which is 1/4 of a year. So that gives you a hint as to what we need to do. So let's put in these letters. Our principal is the starting amount. Our rate is 8.5%, which would be 0.085. Don't forget that 0 in there. And our time in years. So if our time isn't in years, what do we need to do? We need to convert it, right? So what is 3 months in years? You know how to convert? Here's one way you can do it. We know that there are 12 months in a year. 12 months. 12 months is equal to 1 year, right? And we know that when two things are equal to each other, if you put them in a ratio, like 12 months over 1 year, this is the equivalent of 1, right? Because 12 months is equal to 1 year. So what we can do is decide how we want to stack these two based on their units and multiply them by 3 months. What we do is we have 3 months times, let's make this 1 year over 12 months. One year over 12 months. So if we set this up, we have 3 months. 3 months times 1 year over 12 months. We're going to multiply these two together. And what we lose is the months cancel out. And the 3 times 1, we've got 3 times 1 here. 3 times 1 is 3. And so that's 3 years divided by 12. And then if we calculate this, right, 3 over 12 is the same as, that's equal to 1 over 4. 1 over 4 years. So we have 1/4 year as our T, okay? So 1/4, this is one reason we were learning how to convert to decimals. If we want to convert 1/4 to a decimal, and I would like to encourage you to try to think of money when you are working with some fractions. A quarter of a dollar is 25 cents, and that can help you remember that a quarter is 0.25. And so when we have our formula here, since we've got 3 months we're working with, we're going to write this as 0.25 years, right? And this conversion is pretty easy. Let me put this right here. 3 months you may be able to see instantly is a quarter of a year. But if you can't, you can fall back on this where you do the conversion this way. It doesn't matter if you have 12 months over 1 year is equivalent to 1 year over 12 months. The thing is, you want to be able to have the units in the denominator match the ones in the numerator, so those both go away. And then we're left with 3 divided by 12 years, and 3 divided by 12 is 1/4. And that's 1/4 year. So that's one way to make your conversions. And we'll be doing a little bit more on conversions soon, but this is sort of an introduction. So our P is 7,300, our R is 0.85, and 3 months is 0.25y. So we're going to multiply all of these numbers together. 7,300, oh, my calculator went off again. 7,300 times 0.85 times 0.25. So another way to approach this would be to calculate for 1 year and then divide that by 4. But since we're able to use calculators, I think we should just stack up the numbers. And so what I get for the interest is, let me do this in a, let's use purple. We got so many colors going on right now. 1,551 and 25 cents. So this is our interest. So you know what I did? I used there's a mistake right there. This is 8.5%. I thought the number was a little bit high. So it should be 0. Let me get in here and fix it. Does anyone see what I did wrong? Should be 0.085, right? That's a really hard mistake. I mean, that's an easy mistake to make. It's a hard one to avoid. Okay? So when you convert from a number that says percent into a decimal, be sure to double check or you'll do something like I did. So we're going to try this again. 7,300 times 0.085, right? That's 8.5%, times 0.25. Okay, that looks better. So basically what we just did was divided this all by 10 more. So we can move our decimal point. This is an easy fix now. I guess I need to erase this thing. We're going to move our decimal point one place over because adding this 0 in here was like dividing this by 10. So we divided this by 10. And we got $155 and 12 going to 13, depending on how they ask us to. Simple interest. I think we are rounding to the nearest cent. So the rounding rule here, you've got 0.12. So we're looking at this, and the next number is a 5. So our final answer, 155.13. That's how much interest would be paid. So on $7,000 at 8% interest for 3 months, you get $155. When I was growing up, they used to have savings certificates or certificates of deposit. You could go 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, and the longer you let them keep your money, the higher the interest rate. But they were nowhere near this high. Interest rates back then were just a handful of percent. All right, let's put our answers in and see how we did. All right, Samantha, investing. The interest was 4,180, 4,180. And then the account at the end of the 2 years was 23,180. And let's see how we did. Okay, this one's okay. There's a similar question you can work on if you like. And question number 2, the amount of interest earned at 8.5, not 85% interest, was $155.13. We rounded up from 12.5 cents to 13, right? That's just standard rounding rules. Okay, and that one was also correct. Awesome. So here are a couple of similar problems you can work on, or you can click out your own at WAMAP. And if you run into trouble, let me know. I'll try to get back to you in 24 hours. Good luck.